quiet hours at a campground. What are they? What do they mean? And what can you do with those quiet hours? Let's talk about that today. But first, an update on the hammock camping. If you watched our video from a few days ago, you saw where I set up the hammock tent for the first time, and it's coming down already. In fact, I took one of the lines down here and thought, you know, I should probably get the camera and talk about this, because I left everybody hanging. If you watch our videos on a regular basis, you're probably wondering how to go. So I did indeed sleep in the hammock for one night. I wouldn't say I got all of my sleep in the hammock that night. I made it till about 6 o'clock in the morning. Here in Maine, the sun comes out early. I want to say at 4:45, I actually could see there was enough light out here. It was starting to get bright in the tent. And then I still passed out and then woke up again at 6, and it was starting to get pretty warm. The weather here changed so quickly. It just kind of blew my mind. But yeah, I made it, and my report, this is the first night, so don't take this as I quit. It was chaotic. I'm a side sleeper, and I like to sleep with a fan on. So the first obvious thing is I don't have a loud, noisy fan to help kind of give me some quiet. But when I try to, I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can shift myself to sleep on my side. I wound up disheveling everything I had set in there, making a big mess. And then in my efforts to try to fix it, it woke me up even more. I think that I would be more comfortable probably without the stuff underneath of me if I was just on the hammock. I still need the underquilt to not, you know, freeze the backside. But I think that if I didn't have the waffle board on the bottom and the air mattress, I probably would have been a little more comfortable. So, but it got down to 40 degrees and I stayed warm enough. I could actually feel like my arm, if my arm went up above where this underquilt was, like that, like if my arm started touching here, I could feel the cold. And I could feel it as I try to get myself resituated so that my arm was just next to that underquilt. It became more comfortable. Everything was doing its job. I had a 40-degree sleeping bag, the stuff underneath of me. It all did a good job in the 40 degrees. But I think if I were to try this again in the 50s to 60 degrees without the stuff below me, I would probably be a little more comfortable. But it has to come down. I thought I looked through the rules. I thought that I didn't see anything about hanging stuff in the trees, but I got a knock on the door from the park manager today. Says Thousand Trails has a rule that nothing can be in these trees. So I don't want to be disrespectful of those rules. I looked through the rules real quick. I thought I cleared it to make sure. I guess I probably should have actually gone and talked to the office and asked them. But he was admiring it. He's like, dude, you got a sweet setup. I would love to sleep in it myself. He says, unfortunately, it is against the rules. It needs to come down. So I told him I'll get it down today, get it all packed up. So anyway, that's my update on that. We'll try that again in the future. I was hoping to get Tanya out here to at least lay in it today, but I figured I better get it down before it becomes a bigger problem. I don't want to be a problem for the park. Hi, Daisy. Why do you always like to lay back here by the stinky stuff? So I ran across a comment today on Reddit. It's RV Living was the group, and this person was just being belligerent towards whoever has speakers on their RV, uses speakers on their RV, or even the person that thought it was a good idea to invent RVs with speakers on the outside. This person was very upset, using a lot of bad language and wishing horrible curses upon everybody. They obviously took it too far. But I thought about it, I was reading through all the comments, and I came up with what I thought was a pretty good analogy. Now my take on this, and I've told this to people, is as I pull into RV parks and you check the rules, one of the obvious ones that'll stick out to you is quiet time. Things like 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. No, I've never seen an 8 p.m. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. I'm just getting them all mixed up. The two at the end, 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Those are the key times to take note of. Now, there's nothing official on this. This has just been my observation of a lot of the places I've stayed. If I pull into a park and I see a 10 p.m. quiet time, that to me is a park where not a lot's going to happen. It's going to be a peaceful, quiet park for the most part. If I pull into a park and I see 11 p.m. quiet time, that's gonna be a hot and poppin' popular park with a lot going on and people having a lot of fun. I think that more people, you know, before you just take my word for it and go, this is what I'm gonna do, why don't you add to the observation? Let me know if you've got any thoughts on that. Have you noticed that? But that's what I've noticed. So this Thousand Trails, the quiet time is 11 p.m. It's Memorial Day weekend. Some people that full-time in the RV, they become very afraid of the holidayers, definitely the weekenders. They think it's going to become wild and unruly. The fact of the matter is it's people that want to sit outside, laugh, drink, have campfires, maybe listen to some music, possibly watch the Boston Celtics beat the Miami Heat in a playoff game. That was going on here last night. It was pretty loud. But everybody was having fun. There was a lot going on, and the kids got involved. The kids all put together a 9:30 p.m. like hide and go seek. It was actually the game called Manhunt. I don't fully know how that works. The best way I can summarize it is it's something like hide and seek. Might have to get Kaylin to explain the game of Manhunt to you someday. They were all having a blast. By 11 o'clock, this place was quiet. But before that, it was very lively and it was very fun. We decided, hey, it's Memorial Day weekend. There's a lot of kids here. They're all out over the place having a great time. Let the girls stay out later. Let the girls have that real camping atmosphere, go out there and have fun with their friends. So we allowed them to go partake in that. They did encounter one person that began snapping at the kids for being noisy. And I feel that there's no place for that here. I think, and this is something that I came up with in my head today. If you're gonna pull into an RV park or a campground that has an atmosphere that is wild and lively and loud and fun, and don't try to come in there and change it. If you go to an RV park or a campground where everybody's trying to observe more quiet and peace and observe nature and listen to the birds, don't go to that park and try to make it the one where you're gonna do karaoke until midnight. Don't try to change these things. That is probably where the biggest problem lies, is the people that try to change it. You've got people from both sides of the fence that both have great qualities and aspects for the way that they want to enjoy camping. Both ways are right. I think everybody should be able to enjoy camping how they want to enjoy it. But I think that if you're going to pull in to another campground and try to change that atmosphere, you're the person that's in the wrong. Don't do that. Don't do that. Try to observe it. If you pull into a campground and you were hoping for peace and quiet and it's not that kind of a campground, first of all, let me know. Did it have an 11 p.m. quiet time or a 10 p.m. quiet time? Because I would like to hear more if my observations are accurate on that. I suspect it had an 11 p.m. quiet time. And if it doesn't work out for you, don't try to ruin 100 other people's good times. Just keep quiet, make it through your night, and don't come back to that park. That's how you do it. Our family has enjoyed it both ways. We've been to parks where everybody is there to observe the Milky Way, and it's lights out at 7 p.m. and everybody's all quiet and we're whispering to each other so that we can really take in the nature and the Milky Way and the beauty. We've been there, we've done that. We know how to fit into that lifestyle. But we also know how to fit into the lifestyle of like, man, let's play our favorite jams and have a campfire, make some s'mores, and maybe watch a movie out time. We know how to exist in both of those. So what we're asking is if you can't exist in that, just, like I said, don't try to change it. Don't try to ruin 100 people's good time just because it's not the way that you, the one person, doesn't like it. Just don't come back to that campground. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think that that's perfectly normal. And there are campsites out there. Even like how they won't let me put a hammock out here in the tree. This is something really that's more of a national park, primitive camping kind of thing. I was just trying to test it out here. But this is not really the appropriate place for that. I'm understanding of that. I don't want to ruin and or change the atmosphere at this park. So do your part in not trying to change other people's way how they're having fun. And if you're the loud, noisy camper that's having a lot of fun with music and campfires and karaoke and singing and running around playing hide and seek with 100 kids, don't go into that quiet park and try to force your way there, because that's not right. Allow people to go to the places that they want to go to enjoy things. I don't go to a Morton's Steakhouse and demand they make me a Big Mac. And I don't go to McDonald's and demand that they give me prime rib. You just can't do that. All right, but seriously, the mission, please let me know. Think about it. Put your thinking, your noodles to work here. Let me know your observations on those 10 p.m. quiet times and the 11 p.m. quiet times, and what was the atmosphere like at that park. I need more data. I need more input. Like Johnny 5 from Short Circuit. Need more input. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching our videos. We hope that you have a lovely week. Happy Memorial Day. Is it yeah, if you're watching this today when it came out, it's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. Remember that life happens. Even a campground situation that you don't like, don't let it stop you, and don't let it stop others from having fun. Stay fresh, cheese bags.